Well, ladies and gentlemen, the lunatic lefty violence continues to spiral out of control. This time, as pro-life activist Savannah Craven is attacked on the street in New York by a abortion activist. Let's take a look.
It's very obstructed, and I think that you just don't understand the magnitude of having a child.
Yeah, well, I'm not the one who admitted they would be okay with killing babies in foster care and killing children that have been abused.
That's not the point. What I'm saying.
That's really.
Oh my. Oh boy. Oh boy. That's not the point, she says. The point is that I am too mentally and emotionally unhinged that I can't possibly listen to an opinion different from my own. I can't stand the fact that someone else thinks differently from me. And so when they tell me their opinion, I have an emotional reaction and I lash out with violence because I'm a Democrat and I don't use my brain. Here's some more violence as things continue to spiral out of control. This is Turning Point USA. They're on a college campus right now. And what you're going to see here is this is Turning Point USA has a booth. And so Antifa, Soros-funded Antifa, and we're going to get into more Soros funding pretty quick here. Soros-funded Antifa marches towards them and tears down their property, destroys their personal property, and a bunch of police officers just stand around and let it happen. Let's take a look. So you see this large gentleman here in the red cap. That's the officer Brandon Tatum. He got into the fray. He didn't really have a choice because Soros-funded Antifa was marching right at him. Get that dog out of there, please. And the police are just...
Get in there.
And of course, you see the police just letting it happen. These police need to be investigated, fired. And speaking of more Soros-funded violence, Democrats activate NGO machine for a weekend color revolution operation against Trump. The Democratic Party's favorability among Americans has plunged to a record low. In an attempt to reverse this decline, the rudderless party of leftist lunatics has openly launched a domestic color revolution facilitated by a shadowy network of billionaire-funded NGOs. This time, the one specifically they're speaking about is the Hands-Off National Day of Action. This is on thirdact.org. On Saturday, April 5th, 2025, Third Act joins the Hands-Off National Day of Action to stand up against those who believe they can take whatever they want, our democracy, our future, our rights. Now, democracy, future, rights, they never explain how those things are being stolen. They just shout it over and over and over again to try to elicit an emotional response. And if you question it, if you stand up and say, well, how are they taking our democracy, our future, and our rights? That is when they turn violent because they don't have any other response because they are emotionally and mentally unhinged. But who's funding this? Who's funding this hands-off? Let's see. According to Influence Watch, here are the notable donors. Open Society Foundation, George Soros's foundation, known for supporting progressive causes. Is George Soros going to be investigated and arrested? No, I mean, I know he's in his 90s, and I know he thankfully won't be with us that much longer. But his son, Alex Soros, is going to take his place, and he needs to be investigated and possibly thrown in prison. We need to remove all dual citizens from our country. Who else is funding this? The Carnegie Corporation of New York, the Ford Foundation, and the Rockefeller Foundation. Not surprised by that. Not surprised by that whatsoever. Here is some more unhinged lunatic violence. This is a guy pointing a gun at a Tesla on a highway. He's driving this Lexus, and watch, there's no sound to this, but he's driving up next to this Tesla, the camera's on, and there it is right there. Just starts pointing. Now, the gun's in the holster, but that's not the point. And then he starts swerving at the car. I mean, these maniacs are going to be getting people killed. They are committing acts of terrorism. They need to be investigated. And it's not only the Tesla stuff. And it's not only the pro-life stuff, and it's not only the political turning point stuff, right? You've probably heard of this story. This gentleman right here. Let's watch this video real quick.
Narciso Gallardo Fernandez seen shooting at the camera just moments after allegedly killing a Walgreens employee. Police say Hernandez went to the parking lot to reload.
So this gentleman walks into a random Walgreens, finds a random Walgreens employee, shoots and kills them because police say the shooter was angry at large-scale pharmacies. Well, what do you think's going to happen when you have things like California considering a ballot called the Luigi Mangione Access to Healthcare Act? Yes, that is a real thing. Per Zero Hedge, just when you thought Democrats couldn't outclass themselves after Representative Jasmine Crockett referred to Texas Governor Abbott as Hot Wheels, here comes California to make sure you're always entertained. A new California ballot initiative named after alleged United Healthcare CEO killer Luigi Mangione has been filed with the state attorney general. It seeks to ban insurers from delaying, denying, or altering any doctor-recommended treatment that could risk serious harm, including death or permanent injury. I don't care if you are genuinely trying to look out for your citizens, but this is psychotic behavior, naming any bill after a murderer. This is psychotic behavior. But what do you expect? Are you surprised when you get violence, when you have the state supporting the violence? When you have people like Jasmine Crockett?
Hello, Congress.
When you have people like Jasmine Crockett committing assault on someone for asking her a question?
Wait, Congresswoman Crockett. Congresswoman Crockett, you were recently on a Tesla takedown call calling for violence on the 29th. Would you like to clarify your comments?
As you can see.
Congresswoman, will you condone violence at the Tesla?
So this ratchet hood rat gets questioned, called out for her crap, and can't take it. So what does she do? She lashes out, just like the very first woman. It's not surprising, is it? It's not surprising. And then when you get Democrat Representative Pramila Jayapal saying things like this.
We might call this getting strike ready. I think of it as getting us strike ready or street ready.
Telling Democrat voters to get street ready for things like this, the hands-off National Day of Action. And then it just doesn't stop. There are examples on top of examples on top of examples. This mother keys a car while her daughter flips off the camera. So good lesson, Mom. Let's take a look. I don't think there's no sound to this video either. It is a Tesla cam, and the mother tells her little girl to walk by, go ahead of me, and the little girl flips off the camera while Mom is keying the car. So not only are you unhinged mentally and emotionally, you are turning your children into mental and emotional basket cases. Good job. Unbelievable. And they have, and then there's this guy, right? Because they think that all of this is justified. And just listen to this guy.
The alternative is rioting. It's vandalism. It's breaking things. If you're like, oh no, well, you talked about Bernie and AOC as controlled opposition, but like, what's the alternative? The alternative is vandalism and rioting and like destroying property. Every single person that has vandalized a Tesla has done more politically than your vote ever has.
So they are outright telling you that violence is better than voting. This is the Democratic Party. The party that says they are anti-state and anti-billionaire. Anti-billionaire when they have people like George Soros funding their color revolution, and anti-state supposedly when they have people like Democratic representatives in Congress telling them to be street ready, and then they are screaming, yes, we'll be street ready to commit violence. The party of peace and joy and love and understanding and all that crap. Pfft. Whatever. Keep your head on a swivel, ladies and gentlemen, because it's the weather's heating up and things are going to get out of control. So anyway, just wanted to make that quick video, guys. If you like what you heard, please hit the like and subscribe, and I will talk to you later. Please stay safe, take care of yourselves, and have a great day. Thank you.